Hello friends. Hi, my name is Parinita and I am the elder daughter of Brahmarshi Pitama Subhash Patriji and the great master Swarnamala Patriji. Second was born my sister Parimala Patri and she is now living in Maryland, USA. So I was born into this spiritual couple in 1978 and have been the first child student in meditation for my dad. So I started doing meditation when I was about 3 or 4 years old, and my father had already started practicing meditation and reading books and getting into the spiritual core. That is when he started realizing his purpose of life. His purpose of life was to spread meditation, vegetarianism, and to build pyramids in the entire world. So these are the three goals of his, which has been manifesting since the last 30 years. So he has started his journey long before I was born. I was born into a spiritual family. My father, he never used to say, go and sit in meditation. He used to tell me, go and sit quietly in a corner. That's it. He used to tell me to sit quietly in a corner and I used to sit there. I never used to realize that, oh, this is meditation and this is what I need to do and all this stuff. But I need to go and just close my eyes and clasp my hands and sit there in meditation. And after 5 minutes, I have to come back and say, Dad, I finished my meditation. Can I go and play now? That is how my journey had started during meditation. And my father used to work and my mother was a housewife. My father used to go to office, come back in the evening and take us kids to parks. Usually he used to take us to his camps, to his agricultural camps, since he was working for Coromandel Fertilizers in the sales department. He was so engrossed in the spiritual books and he started reading books by Lobsang Rampa and Richard Bach and many other authors. Yes, he was always into these spiritual books. It was a long time since his spiritual journey had started. I think I was in the 8th or 9th standard in 1991. He resigned from his job. It was a great shock for the family because we had no other source of income. And we were still studying and my mother was a housewife and she didn't have any source of income either. So we had suffered a lot during that time wherein there was a financial crisis in our family. So that is when he started traveling to many places, even though he had no money in his hands. Even he used to just somehow the money used to come, the help used to come at that point of time just to buy a bus ticket. He used to travel in red buses. These red buses are the lowest form of transport in the south of India. So he used to go to places like Anantapur and other places just to teach one person meditation. Even if one person was interested in learning meditation, he used to travel there. That is his greatness. So it was a normal life. We had a normal kind of upbringing. But then during our childhood, my father and mother, they never taught us to complain or to demand. These are the two main things which my parents have taught us, especially my father, to never to complain and never to demand. We were not raised in such a way. Until now, me and my sister both, we always have that inculcation of not complaining or not demanding things. Because why do we demand things? When we feel inadequate. Inadequacy is a very strong feeling nowadays in the youth. But I believe that whenever I am ready, the universe will provide us. That is what I feel and that is what I think that everyone should be doing, because the feeling of inadequacy comes when there's no gratitude. We need to have gratitude for what we have, the people that we have in our life and everything. So when we do not have gratitude, we get that feeling of inadequacy. So since my childhood, I have not been taught to complain or to demand things. So this has saved my life a lot, even my sister's life. So these two are the basic principles which he taught me. And the third thing is humility. What is humility? It's being humble. Any person who used to come to our home never left with an empty stomach. My father used to make sure that any person or any number of persons who used to visit my home or visit my dad, they never used to leave our house empty stomach. So everyone should be fed, everyone should be served with love and with compassion. So that is what, those are the principles, basic principles which my father has taught us both when we were kids. So then after my dad's resignation, he started traveling and everything, and we had this financial crunches. So then after that, a great master called Mr. B.V. Reddy had supported us and let us build a pyramid on his piece of land. So that was our first milestone. The Kannur Pyramid Spirituality, the Buddha Pyramid Meditation Center was our first milestone where we have built a pyramid. So from then onwards, his journey was endless. He was traveling from place to place, teaching meditation, spreading vegetarianism and building pyramids. So there are three things which he always propagates: Dhyana Jagat, Shakahara Jagat and Pyramid Jagat. So these three are the pillars of his society and his aims and his purpose. So then he founded Pyramid Spiritual Societies, and then he started traveling and traveling and traveling and traveling, and his traveling was endless, and I really wonder how this man can travel so much, so endlessly. It is a miracle. It is definitely a miracle. And now we can see so many people meditating, so many people turned into vegetarians, and so many pyramids come up in the entire world. The message of meditation, vegetarianism and pyramids has gone through the entire world through this one single man. Just imagine what we all can do together. When I was doing my BCom, I met a man called Mr. Srinivas Reddy, and we had our friendship, and then we got married on December 31st, 1999. So then we started our spiritual journey together. After we got married, he started working for 2-3 firms or 2-3 companies, and I started working for MNCs for about 7 years. So after working for some time, my husband had left the job and then started reading books, and then he met with a great master called Torkam Seradaryan books, and he was so inspired and so influenced. And then we happened to write to Geeta, who happens to be Torkam Seradaryan's daughter, Geeta Seradaryan, and we wrote to her saying that, you know what, we need some books for our library, and then we sent a request saying that please send us the books, and without any hesitation she sent us all the books that Torkam had written at that point of time. So she sent to us, and we were so thrilled and amazed and overwhelmed with the love and affection that she showed towards us, and he was totally amazed with the response. And then he started reading the books, and then he started understanding the real meaning of life and real meaning of everything that happened to his life. And slowly I started reading books as well, and I was so inspired with this one book called Woman Torch of the Future. That has really changed my attitude towards everything in life. So I request each and every woman, I urge each and every woman or lady or a girl to read that book by Torkam Seradaryan, which is The Woman Torch of the Future. So that is when I decided that this book needs to come in Telugu, and we got that book translated into Telugu, and it was a super duper hit. It was a super duper hit. It was sold out in 2 or 3 days. We printed only 1,000 copies, and for that our journey was endless. Since 2009 we started getting these books translated into Telugu, and then the journey has started, and we have almost published about 25 to 30 books till now. Now I'd like to tell you how meditation has impacted in my life. How did it affect my life? I was already born into a spiritual family and have been practicing meditation since I was a kid. To be very, very honest, I do not have any experiences during my meditation, but then after coming out of meditation, I used to have so much of peace of mind and a thoughtless state that so many people really pray for. So, how has meditation impacted me? It has given me a great understanding of life, a positive attitude towards life, and a very pure heart. A pure heart is very essential, and that is the most important thing that a person should have. A pure heart, a purified heart is a great asset for every person. So, my dear friends, during this journey of spirituality and learning about meditation and helping so many people to teach meditation and teach vegetarianism and everything, this is where I found my purpose of life. My purpose of life is to help people, or to rather say teach people meditation to help themselves. We always should teach people to help themselves. When we are teaching meditation and when we are trying to help people, never make them depend on you. If you are making them depend on you, then you are not a true master. True master always believes in freedom, giving people freedom. So, when you are trying to teach somebody, teach them freedom. By giving them a weapon called meditation, they are free to heal themselves. They are free to solve their own problems. I should not make you dependent on me. I should teach you meditation, or I should make you free and just leave you. So, we need to have the detachment from each other. So, we should not make anybody depend on us. That is the sign of a true great master. When you make somebody depend on you, you're not a true great master.